Welcome to our countdown of the 20 most venomous and dangerous snakes in Australia. Before we dive into the slithery details, let's take a moment to appreciate the unique relationship Australians have with these fascinating creatures. Imagine stepping out for a nice day with the family, only to find an uninvited guest on your doorstep. Watch as this snake decides it's had enough excitement for one day. Cue the panic. And here comes Dad, ready to save the day with the classic "what on earth is going on" face. Always check your front yard, folks, because you never know when a snake might just photobomb your family outing. And then there's the moment every parent dreads, finding an unexpected guest in the toddler's bed. Kudos to our hero snake expert for the quick save. Remember, always double-check those teddy bears. Sometimes they're hiding more than just stuffing. Lastly, let's not forget that in Australia, even the experts need a cheat sheet for identifying snakes. One minute, it's a harmless tree snake. The next, it's a highly venomous brown snake. No wonder they say Australia is not for beginners. If you can tell the difference, congratulations, you've unlocked expert mode. Now, let's dive into our list of the 20 most venomous and dangerous snakes in Australia. Stay tuned, stay safe, and enjoy the slithery ride. 20. Cryptophis nigrescens, small-eyed snake. This snake in Australia is often confused with the eastern brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis. Both snakes share similar habitats and can appear somewhat similar in color and size, leading to frequent misidentification. The small-eyed snake, aka Cryptophis nigrescens, is a venomous snake native to eastern Australia. This snake is generally dark in color, ranging from dark gray to black, with its most distinguishing feature being its small eyes, which are often considered tiny relative to its head size. It is relatively small, usually reaching a length of about 50 to 70 centimeters, though some individuals can grow longer. The small-eyed snake has smooth scales and a glossy appearance. Found in eastern Australia, including regions of Queensland, New South Wales, and northern Victoria, the small-eyed snake inhabits a variety of environments, from coastal forests and woodlands to heaths and sometimes suburban areas. It tends to favor moist habitats and is often found under rocks, logs, or leaf litter. This species is nocturnal, being most active during the night, and during the day, it usually hides under cover. It preys primarily on small reptiles, including lizards and other snakes, and may also consume frogs and occasionally small mammals. While it is venomous, its venom is considered less toxic to humans compared to some other Australian snakes. Bites can cause localized pain and swelling, but severe reactions are rare. The breeding season for the small-eyed snake typically occurs in spring and early summer. It is oviparous, meaning it lays eggs, and the female lays a clutch of eggs, which hatch after an incubation period. When threatened, the small-eyed snake may flatten its body and hiss, displaying a defensive posture to deter predators. Due to its small size and nocturnal habits, it is often mistaken for juvenile individuals of other snake species. There have been a few recorded instances of small-eyed snake bites. In one case, a man in New South Wales was bitten while moving firewood at night. He experienced significant pain and swelling at the bite site, but recovered fully with medical treatment. In another instance, a woman gardening in her backyard was bitten on the hand, resulting in localized pain and swelling, though she also made a full recovery after receiving appropriate care. These stories illustrate that while the small-eyed snake's bite can be painful, it is generally not life-threatening with prompt medical attention. 19. Echiopsis curta, the Bardic. The Bardic, aka Echiopsis curta, is often confused with the curl snake, aka Suda. Both species are small, have similar coloration, and inhabit similar regions, which can lead to misidentification. However, they can be distinguished by differences in their head shape, scalation, and patterns. The Bardic, also known as Echiopsis curta, is one of Australia's lesser-known venomous snakes. This snake is primarily found in southern and western parts of Australia, including regions of Western Australia, South Australia, Victoria, and southwestern New South Wales. They are nocturnal snakes that use the cover of darkness to search for a wide variety of prey, including lizards, frogs, small mammals, and sometimes birds and even insects. This individual was only around 15 centimeters in length and probably no more than 1 year old. However, the average total length is around 60 centimeters. Being active at night and relatively small in size, bardics are rarely encountered by the public and, if so, are probably mistaken for juveniles of more common snakes such as brown snakes. Although their venom is classed as dangerous to humans, it so far has not claimed any human lives. The venom is said to be similar to that of death adders. However, more studies are required to understand its effects. Overall, they are fascinating little snakes playing their role in nature. The bardic's venom is primarily neurotoxic, affecting the nervous system and potentially causing symptoms such as muscle weakness and paralysis. Despite this, bites generally result in mild to moderate symptoms like local pain and swelling rather than severe systemic effects. Additionally, the bardic is not classified among the Australian brown snakes, genus Pseudonaja, which are known for their highly toxic venom. The bardic belongs to the genus Echiopsis, making it distinct from the more dangerous brown snakes in Australia. The bardic has a stout and robust body, a short tail, and a broad head that is somewhat distinct from the neck, giving it a slightly triangular shape. Its coloration ranges from brown to gray, often featuring darker crossbands or blotches along the back, which helps distinguish it from more uniformly colored snakes like the eastern brown snake. 18. Acanthopus purus, desert death adder. It is often confused with the pygmy copperhead, Australaps labialis. Both snakes share similar habitats and coloration, which can lead to misidentification. However, they can be distinguished by differences in size, head shape, and specific patterns on their bodies. The desert death adder, also known as Acanthopus purus, is a highly venomous snake native to Australia. Belonging to the Yellowbellied family, it is distinguished by its stout body, broad head, and relatively short tail. Its coloration, typically a blend of browns, reds, and yellows, provides excellent camouflage in its arid, sandy, and rocky habitats. The desert death adder is found primarily in arid regions, including the western and central deserts of Australia. One of the most striking features of the desert death adder is its hunting strategy. Unlike many other snakes that actively pursue their prey, the death adder is an ambush predator. It remains motionless, often buried in the sand, with only its head exposed. It uses its tail, which resembles a worm, as a lure to attract prey, primarily small mammals, birds, and lizards. When an unsuspecting animal comes close, the adder strikes with remarkable speed, delivering a potent venom through its long fangs. The venom of the desert death adder is extremely toxic, containing neurotoxins that can cause paralysis and, if untreated, can be fatal to humans. However, bites from this species are relatively rare due to its reclusive nature and preference for remote habitats. When threatened, the adder relies on its camouflage but will strike quickly if provoked. The venom also contains myotoxins and procoagulants, which can cause muscle damage and affect blood clotting, respectively. Reproduction in desert death adders is ovoviviparous, meaning the females give birth to live young rather than laying eggs. This adaptation is beneficial in the harsh desert environment, providing the young with a better chance of survival. The desert death adder's inclusion in Australia's top 20 venomous and deadly snakes is due to several criteria. Firstly, its venom's high toxicity makes it particularly dangerous. The neurotoxins can quickly immobilize prey and pose a serious threat to humans. Secondly, the efficiency of its hunting strategy, which involves rapid and accurate strikes, increases the likelihood of envenomation. Although bites are relatively rare due to the snake's reclusive nature and preference for remote habitats, the potential severity of a bite contributes to its deadly reputation. Lastly, its broad distribution across arid regions of Australia increases the chance of human encounters, further solidifying its place among the country's most venomous snakes. Overall, the desert death adder is a fascinating example of adaptation to a challenging environment, showcasing unique behaviors and physiological traits that enable it to thrive in the deserts of Australia. 17. Pseudonaja affinis, the dewgite, is often confused with the western brown snake, Pseudonaja nuchalis. Both snakes have similar coloration and body shapes, which can make identification challenging, especially for those unfamiliar with their distinct characteristics. However, they can be differentiated by their specific patterns, coloration, and behavior. The dugite, also known as Pseudonaja affinis, is a venomous snake found in Western Australia. They can vary in color, typically ranging from olive green, brown, or gray, often with a speckled or banded pattern. Juveniles are often more distinctly marked than adults. Dugites generally grow to about 1.5 to 2 meters in length, although larger individuals have been recorded. They inhabit a variety of environments, including coastal dunes, woodlands, and urban areas, and are primarily found in the southwestern parts of Western Australia, including the Perth metropolitan area. Dugites are diurnal, meaning they are active during the day. They primarily feed on small mammals, birds, and reptiles, and are known to be highly agile and fast-moving. Generally shy and avoid confrontation with humans, dugites can be aggressive if threatened. Their venom is highly toxic, containing neurotoxins and coagulants, and a bite can be fatal if not treated promptly. Immediate medical attention is crucial, and antivenom is available and effective in treating bites. Dugites are not considered endangered, but are protected under regional wildlife laws. Habitat destruction and human conflict are the main threats to dugite populations. They are often encountered in suburban gardens and parks, especially during the warmer months. People are advised to keep yards clear of debris and to avoid provoking any snakes they encounter. These snakes play an important role in controlling pest populations, contributing to the ecological balance in their habitats. The dugite is among the top 20 venomous snakes in Australia due to the high toxicity of its venom and its potential for human encounters. The criteria for this conclusion include the composition and effects of the venom, which contains potent neurotoxins and coagulants capable of causing severe symptoms and fatalities. Additionally, their distribution in populated areas increases the likelihood of human-snake interactions, raising the risk of bites. Their behavior, though generally shy, can become aggressive when threatened, contributing to their ranking among Australia's most dangerous snakes. 16. Acanthopus preolongus, the northern death adder. Often confused with the common death adder, Acanthopus antarcticus. Both species share similar body shapes and coloration, making it easy to misidentify them. However, they can be distinguished by subtle differences in their coloration, patterns, and geographic distribution. The northern death adder, also known as Acanthopus preolongus, is a highly venomous snake native to Australia. It typically ranges from 50 to 100 centimeters in length and has a coloration that varies but often includes shades of gray, brown, or reddish-brown with bands or patterns that help it blend into its natural habitat. The body is stout and cylindrical, with a short tail and a broad, triangular head that is distinct from the neck. This snake is found primarily in northern Australia, including parts of Queensland, the Northern Territory, and Western Australia. It prefers forested areas, woodlands, and sometimes grasslands, often inhabiting areas with leaf litter, fallen branches, and rocks which provide good camouflage. The northern death adder is a master of camouflage and typically lies in wait for prey, striking quickly when an opportunity arises. It feeds primarily on small mammals, birds, frogs, and other reptiles. Mostly nocturnal, it can also be active during the day in cooler weather. The venom of the northern death adder is highly toxic and can cause severe symptoms, including paralysis, respiratory failure, and death if not treated promptly. While not aggressive, it can strike quickly if threatened, and bites should be treated as a medical emergency with antivenom available. This species is ovoviviparous, meaning females give birth to live young rather than laying eggs, with a typical litter consisting of 3 to 20 young snakes. Although not currently listed as endangered, habitat destruction and fragmentation pose significant threats to the species, and conservation efforts focus on protecting its habitat and mitigating human-wildlife conflict. The northern death adder is considered among Australia's top 20 venomous snakes due to its highly toxic venom and the potential severity of its bites. Criteria for this ranking include venom potency, the snake's tendency to bite humans, and the medical significance of envenomation cases. Additionally, the northern death adder is threatened by the invasive cane toad, also known as Rhinella marina, in Australia. Cane toads are highly toxic, and when predators like the northern death adder consume them, they are often poisoned and die. This invasive species, introduced to Australia in the 1930s to control agricultural pests, has become a significant threat to many native Australian species, including the northern death adder. Cane toads produce toxins called bufatoxins, which are potent enough to kill a variety of predators. Native Australian wildlife, including snakes, have not evolved defenses against these toxins, making them highly susceptible. This ecological impact has contributed to the decline of several native species, highlighting the broad and severe effects invasive species can have on local ecosystems. Despite its dangerous reputation, it is a fascinating creature with a range of adaptations that make it a successful predator in its environment. 15. Notechis scutatus occidentalis, the western tiger snake, often confused with the eastern tiger snake, Notechis scutatus, and the lowland copperhead, Australaps superbus. All three snakes can have similar coloration and body shapes, leading to potential misidentification. However, they can be differentiated by their distinct patterns, coloration, and habitat preferences.
He's safely caught more than 14,000 deadly snakes, but last Sunday a bite from this tiger almost cost Mark Pally his life.
I knew that I was slipping, but I couldn't say anything to anyone. I thought I was going to die.
The veteran handler was using a pinning stick to catch the reptile when it suddenly broke.
So instead of something gently pressing against the snake body to hold it in place, I instead just shoved a pole in the ground.
The snake bit directly into a vein in Mark's hand, instantly flooding his bloodstream with deadly venom.
I realised I had only minutes.
I can't open my eyes. I feel so sick. This is what it looks like when you catch a tiger snake and it bites you. And this is why I tell people don't touch snakes, because even someone as experienced as me can get bitten. If you see a snake, don't touch it.
The western tiger snake, aka Notechis scutatus occidentalis, is a venomous snake species found in the southwestern regions of Australia. These snakes have a robust build and can grow up to 1.2 meters in length. Their coloration varies but typically includes bands of yellow and black, resembling a tiger's pattern, though the exact pattern and coloration can vary significantly among individuals. They have smooth scales, which contribute to their shiny appearance. This species is primarily found in southwestern Australia, including areas near Perth and the coastal regions. They inhabit a variety of environments such as wetlands, swamps, riversides, and sometimes dry sclerophyll forests and woodlands, often found near water sources. Western tiger snakes are diurnal, meaning they are primarily active during the day, though in hotter months, they may become more active during the early morning and late afternoon to avoid extreme heat. Generally shy, they prefer to avoid confrontation with humans. When threatened, they can become defensive and may flatten their bodies and hiss loudly as a warning before striking. The venom of the western tiger snake is highly toxic and contains neurotoxins, coagulants, myotoxins, and hemolysins, which can cause severe symptoms in humans, including paralysis, blood clotting issues, and muscle damage. Immediate medical attention is essential in the event of a bite, with antivenom available and effective in treating envenomation. This high toxicity places the western tiger snake among the top 20 venomous snakes in Australia. The population status varies by region, but is generally not considered endangered, though habitat destruction and human encroachment pose threats. Western tiger snakes are often encountered in suburban areas, especially those close to water sources, and can be dangerous if provoked, though they will generally retreat if given the opportunity. Exercising caution when in their habitat, particularly near water bodies, wearing protective clothing, and being vigilant can reduce the risk of snake bites. Their diet mainly consists of frogs, but they also eat small mammals, birds, and other reptiles, using their potent venom to subdue prey. Breeding typically occurs in late spring to early summer, and female western tiger snakes give birth to live young, usually between 10 to 30 offspring per litter, a process known as ovoviviparity, where eggs develop inside the mother's body and hatch shortly before or after being laid. Western tiger snakes differ from other Australian tiger snakes in their specific habitat preferences, primarily in the southwestern regions of Australia, and their unique banding patterns. They play an important role in controlling the population of their prey, maintaining ecological balance in their natural habitats. 14. Pseudechis porphyriacus, the red-bellied black snake, often confused with the eastern brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis. Both species can exhibit similar body shapes and colors, particularly in younger individuals. However, they can be distinguished by their distinctive coloration. The red-bellied black snake, also known as Pseudechis porphyriacus, is a venomous snake native to eastern Australia. It has a distinctive glossy black upper body with a vibrant red or crimson belly, which can sometimes extend up the sides. Adults typically range from 1.5 to 2 meters in length, although some individuals can grow longer. The scales are smooth, and the snake has a relatively slender build. Found primarily in eastern Australia, including New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, and parts of South Australia, the red-bellied black snake prefers moist habitats such as swamps, woodlands, riverbanks, and forests, and is often found near water sources like streams and ponds. It is generally terrestrial but can swim well and often hunts in water. This species is diurnal, meaning it is active during the day, but it can also be active during warm nights. Typically shy and not aggressive towards humans, the red-bellied black snake will often flatten its body and hiss as a warning when threatened, resorting to biting only as a last measure. Its diet includes frogs, small mammals, birds, and other reptiles, including other snakes. Its venom, while moderately toxic, is less potent compared to some other Australian snakes, containing neurotoxins, myotoxins, and coagulants. Bites can cause pain, swelling, nausea, vomiting, headache, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and muscle weakness. Severe cases can lead to blood clotting disorders and muscle damage. Although antivenom is available, it is often not required due to the typically mild nature of envenomations from this snake. Reproduction for the red-bellied black snake occurs in the spring and early summer. Unlike many other reptiles, this species is viviparous, meaning females give birth to live young rather than laying eggs. Litters typically consist of 8 to 40 juveniles, with a gestation period of about 3 months. The red-bellied black snake is not currently considered endangered and is relatively common within its range. However, habitat destruction and fragmentation pose significant threats. The species is protected under various state laws in Australia, making it illegal to kill or harm them. Encounters with humans often occur in suburban areas near suitable habitats. While bites are rare, the snake should be treated with caution and respect. If found in urban areas, it is recommended to contact local wildlife authorities for safe removal rather than attempting to handle the snake oneself. The red-bellied black snake plays an important role in the ecosystem by controlling pest populations and maintaining balance in its habitat. Despite its generally shy nature, the red-bellied black snake is considered one of Australia's top 15 venomous snakes due to its relatively frequent encounters with humans and the potential severity of its bite. There are several notable stories of snake bites caused by this species. For instance, in 2015, a young boy in New South Wales was bitten while playing in his backyard. He experienced significant pain and swelling, requiring hospitalization and treatment. Another case involved a hiker in Queensland who was bitten on the leg after accidentally stepping on a snake. He suffered from severe pain and muscle weakness but recovered after receiving medical care. These stories highlight the importance of exercising caution when in areas where the red-bellied black snake may be present. 13. Pseudechis scutatus, the blue-bellied black snake, often confused with the red-bellied black snake, Pseudechis porphyriacus, due to their similar body shapes and coloration. However, the blue-bellied black snake has a distinctive blue or bluish-gray belly, while the red-bellied black snake has a red or orange belly.
heard the birds all yelling and screaming, so I went out from under the house I'm watering, and I crashed into the snake door. Yeah. He ran into me, and I ran into him. And I stood on him, so he latched onto my foot, flattened himself out, and I knew I was in trouble. So I just pulled my foot back. He went to have another go. Then I went down to, hoping the gate was open. I went down through the gate. I knew I had to get to the highway. I got down to the highway, the Warragul highway, and there was a van or truck thing there. Don't call it much. I said, I'm in trouble. A 6-foot brown snake's bitten me. Could you please, somebody drive me to the ambulance station?
Yeah. She said, I got bitten by a snake and someone drove me to Rosewood. Yeah, I got my P's, yeah. Okay. On my automatic, so lucky it was an automatic, yes. And they just told her, me to calm her down and talk about her family and everything. And, yeah.
The blue-bellied black snake, aka Pseudechis scutatus, found mainly in northeastern Queensland, Australia, is a venomous species recognized for its distinctive blue or bluish-gray belly contrasted with a black or dark brown dorsal surface. Typically reaching lengths of 1.5 to 2 meters, these snakes are diurnal and shy, preferring to bask in the sun near water sources such as creeks and swamps. Their diet includes frogs, small mammals, birds, and reptiles. They employ both ambush and active hunting strategies, using keen senses of smell and sight to locate prey, which they subdue with a potent venom. The venom of the blue-bellied black snake is highly toxic, comprising neurotoxins that disrupt nerve signal transmission, leading to paralysis, and myotoxins that damage muscle tissue. Additionally, some components affect blood coagulation. A bite can cause pain, swelling, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, muscle weakness, and respiratory failure in severe cases. Immediate medical attention is crucial, with antivenom being the primary treatment, alongside supportive care to manage symptoms and prevent complications. There are documented cases of people being bitten by the blue-bellied black snake, Pseudechis scutatus, but specific individual cases are not widely publicized. Encounters with humans are rare due to the snake's reclusive nature. When encountered, they prefer to retreat but may exhibit defensive behaviors if threatened. First aid involves applying a pressure bandage and immobilizing the limb, followed by hospital treatment with antivenom and supportive care. Recovery time varies based on the severity of the bite and the promptness of treatment. While individual stories may not be as commonly reported, medical literature and records from hospitals in northeastern Queensland do report handling envenomation cases from this species. These records highlight the importance of quick response and proper medical treatment to mitigate the effects of the snake's potent venom. The exact number of bites and the outcomes may not be detailed in public databases, but the snake's inclusion among Australia's top venomous snakes underscores the seriousness of potential encounters. The blue-bellied black snake is considered among Australia's top 15 venomous snakes due to the potency and effects of its venom. Its neurotoxic and myotoxic components can cause severe, life-threatening symptoms, necessitating rapid and effective medical intervention. This combination of highly toxic venom and the potential for serious human health impacts places it high on the list of venomous snakes in Australia. 12. Australaps superbus, the lowlands copperhead, often confused with the tiger snake, Notechis scutatus, due to similarities in their coloration and habitat. Both snakes can exhibit similar patterns and sizes, making identification challenging. However, the lowlands copperhead typically has a more rounded head and a distinctive coppery or reddish hue, while the tiger snake usually has more pronounced banding and a flatter head shape. Remember that time a snake decided to take a joyride? Well, this slithery hitchhiker was caught coming out of the car vent in Box Hill, VIC. Rumor has it, the car had just been in launching place, so maybe our scaly friend just wanted a change of scenery. It was a lowlands copperhead, Australaps superbus, dangerously venomous if harassed or provoked. But who can blame it for wanting to cool off with the AC? Next time, don't forget to check your vents for sneaky snakes before hitting the road. And remember, always call a snake catcher if you find a surprise passenger in your vehicle. The lowlands copperhead, aka Australaps superbus, is a venomous snake native to southeastern Australia, including parts of Tasmania. This species typically has a robust body with a relatively broad head that is not distinctly wider than the neck. Its color can vary from dark brown, coppery, reddish-brown to almost black, with a paler belly, and the scales can have a glossy appearance. Adult lowlands copperheads usually range from 1.0 to 1.5 meters, or 3.3 to 4.9 feet, in length, though some individuals can grow slightly longer. The species is found in southeastern Australia, including Victoria, southern New South Wales, and Tasmania. It prefers wet habitats such as wetlands, swamps, and the edges of creeks and rivers, but can also be found in grasslands, heathlands, and forests, especially in areas with ample cover and access to water. Lowlands copperheads are generally diurnal, meaning they are active during the day, but they can also be active at night during warmer weather. They are known to be more active during the cooler parts of the day in hot weather. These snakes are considered to be relatively shy and will usually avoid confrontation. However, they can be defensive if provoked and may strike if threatened. Their diet primarily consists of small mammals, frogs, reptiles, and occasionally birds. They are also known to eat other snakes, including those of their own species. The breeding season for lowlands copperheads typically occurs in the spring. Females give birth to live young, with litters ranging from 5 to 30 offspring. The young are independent from birth and receive no parental care. The venom of the lowlands copperhead is potent and can cause serious illness or death if not treated. It is a neurotoxic venom that affects the nervous system, but it also contains components that affect blood clotting. Envenomation symptoms can include pain and swelling at the bite site, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, headaches, dizziness, and in severe cases, paralysis, muscle damage, and difficulty breathing. Specific antivenom is available and is effective in treating bites from this species, so prompt medical treatment is crucial. While not currently considered endangered, the lowlands copperhead faces threats from habitat destruction, pollution, and persecution by humans who often kill snakes out of fear. Efforts to preserve wetland habitats and educate the public about the ecological role of snakes are important for the conservation of this species. The lowlands copperhead plays a vital role in controlling the populations of their prey species, thus maintaining ecological balance in their habitats. There have been several reported snakebite incidents involving the lowlands copperhead. One such case involved a man in rural Victoria who was bitten while gardening. Despite initial pain and swelling, he received prompt medical attention, including antivenom, and recovered fully. Another incident in Tasmania involved a child who was bitten while playing near a creek. The child experienced severe symptoms, including difficulty breathing, but was successfully treated with antivenom and made a complete recovery. These stories highlight the importance of quick medical intervention and the effectiveness of antivenom in treating bites from this species. 11. Tropodechis carinatus, the rough-scaled snake. Often confused with the common brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis. Both snakes share similar habitats and can have overlapping coloration, which can lead to misidentification. However, the rough-scaled snake is distinguished by its rough, keeled scales and more robust body, while the common brown snake has smoother scales and a more slender appearance.
Well, it happened in the afternoon, late afternoon, almost on dark, and I had a goat and I was putting the goat under the house. I had a baby and a 2-year-old inside, and I felt this like a pins and needles feeling, like pins and needles in my foot. And so I went inside and I thought straight away that I definitely had been bitten by a snake or a spider. I wasn't sure what. The poison immediately went straight up to my head. So I got a migraine headache. I've never had a migraine headache in my life. So I had this migraine headache and straight away I started to vomit. So I got the bucket and I'm leaning over the bucket vomiting and thinking, oh God, I need help, I need help. So I put my baby and my 2-year-old and myself in the car with the bucket so I could keep vomiting in the bucket and go to the neighbours. And then the neighbour takes me straight to the Southport Hospital. David Flay from Fauna and Flora Reserve in Burleigh Heads, who had it for many, many years on the Gold Coast. He was an expert on snakes and he diagnosed the snake as a rough-scale snake.
This guy did get extremely lucky that the snake didn't actually bite him. That's a rough-scale snake, and they are found in very remote parts of Australia. Honestly, I had never heard of the snake before until I watched this video, and this possibly might be why, is because there's very few places they are found. These guys are super defensive and have a few different types of venom that are just crazy. They have cytotoxic venom, they have anticoagulants, they have hemotoxic venom. It's crazy. But even with all that, only one death has ever been recorded. So even though they are crazy toxic, they also have only been reported to have killed one person. Now, so has the inland taipan, which is considered the most toxic snake in the world by many accounts. Moral of the story, if you come across a snake in Australia, don't pick it up, because there's a good chance it's an elapid. So basically it's a good chance it's related to cobras. Not good.
The rough-scaled snake, Tropodecus carinatus, is a venomous snake found primarily in Australia. It is named for its keeled, ridged scales, which give it a rough texture. Its coloration can vary from olive green to brown or black, often with darker bands or patterns. Adults typically grow to around 70 to 100 centimeters, 27 to 39 inches in length, but some individuals can exceed this size. This species is found in eastern Australia, from the central coast of New South Wales to northeastern Queensland. It prefers rainforest environments, wet sclerophyll forests, and sometimes adjacent habitats like woodlands and heaths. They are often found near water sources, such as streams and swamps. Primarily nocturnal, rough-scaled snakes can also be active during the day, especially in cooler weather. They feed mainly on frogs, small mammals, lizards, and other snakes, being ambush predators that often lie in wait for their prey. They are viviparous, giving birth to live young rather than laying eggs, with females typically giving birth to litters of 5 to 10 young. The rough-scaled snake has potent venom that can be dangerous to humans. The venom contains neurotoxins and procoagulants, which can cause paralysis and disrupt blood clotting. Bites are rare but can be serious, and medical attention should be sought immediately if bitten. Antivenom is available and effective in treating envenomations. One notable bite story involves a bushwalker in Queensland who was bitten on the ankle. Despite applying a pressure immobilization bandage and receiving prompt medical attention, the individual experienced significant pain and swelling, but ultimately made a full recovery thanks to the timely administration of antivenom. The species is not considered to be under significant threat at present and is listed as least concern by the IUCN. However, habitat destruction and environmental changes could impact local populations. The rough scales of the rough-scaled snake are thought to aid in locomotion through the dense underbrush of its rainforest habitat. It can be confused with other Australian snakes, such as the eastern brown snake or the tiger snake, due to overlapping habitats and similar appearance. While not aggressive, the rough-scaled snake will defend itself if threatened. It is best to observe these snakes from a distance and avoid handling them. To avoid bites, wear appropriate footwear and clothing when walking in snake habitats, and be cautious when moving logs or debris where snakes may hide. If bitten, keep the affected limb immobilized and seek medical attention immediately. Applying a pressure immobilization bandage can slow the spread of venom. Understanding the rough-scaled snake's behavior and habitat can help reduce the risk of encounters and bites, ensuring the safety of both humans and the snakes themselves. 10. Acanthopus antarcticus, common death adder. Often confused with the northern death adder, Acanthopus prolongus. Both species share similar body shapes and venomous characteristics, which can lead to misidentification. However, they can be distinguished by subtle differences in coloration and patterns, as well as their geographic distribution, with the northern death adder primarily found in northern Australia and the common death adder in southern regions.
Oh, he got me GoPro. That would have scared the shit out of you. There's venom on it. There's venom on the GoPro. That is not good. And this guy needs to be left to his own devices.
Our massive female common death adder Shazza has absolutely smashed my original record, which was 160. This one's 270 milligrams, which works out to be almost 3.2 grams of raw venom. The average yield for a death adder is around about 100 milligrams. So this is insanely big, and it's probably enough to kill over 60 adult humans.
The common death adder, Acanthopus antarcticus, is a highly venomous snake native to Australia and parts of Papua New Guinea. Typically measuring between 70 to 100 centimeters in length, this snake is known for its stout, stocky body and broad, triangular head that is distinct from its neck. It is usually brown, gray, or reddish with bands along its body. The tail ends in a thin, worm-like lure used to attract prey. The common death adder inhabits various environments including forests, woodlands, grasslands, and heaths, predominantly in eastern and southern Australia, as well as some regions of Papua New Guinea. Primarily nocturnal and ambush predators, common death adders are relatively sluggish, relying on camouflage and sudden strikes rather than pursuit. They feed on small mammals, birds, frogs, and other reptiles, using their tail lure to attract prey within striking distance. The venom of the common death adder is extremely potent, with neurotoxic effects that can cause paralysis and potentially death if untreated. Bite symptoms include early pain, swelling, and paralysis, with severe cases leading to respiratory failure. Antivenom exists and is crucial for treating bites, making immediate medical attention necessary. Reproductively, the common death adder is ovoviviparous, giving birth to live young, with typical litters comprising 10 to 20 offspring. Although not currently listed as endangered, habitat destruction and other human activities can threaten their population. Despite its name, the common death adder is not a true adder, which are found in Europe and Asia, but gets its name from its adder-like appearance and behavior. Often, it is mistaken for non-venomous species due to its cryptic appearance. There have been numerous stories of snake bites caused by the common death adder. One notable case involves a young boy in Queensland who was bitten while playing in his backyard. He experienced rapid onset of paralysis and difficulty breathing, but was saved by the prompt administration of antivenom. Another incident in New South Wales involved a bushwalker who was bitten on the ankle. Despite experiencing severe pain and swelling, the walker managed to call for help and received medical treatment in time to prevent more serious consequences. These stories highlight the danger posed by the common death adder and the importance of being vigilant in areas where they are found. 9. Pseudechis australis, Mulga Snake, is often confused with the black snake, Pseudechis porphyriacus. Both species share similar body shapes and can exhibit overlapping coloration, particularly in darker individuals. However, the Mulga snake is generally more robust and can have a more varied coloration, including lighter and more patterned individuals, while the black snake typically has a shiny black appearance. Additionally, their habitats may differ, with the Mulga snake being more commonly found in arid regions.
And I've had my first serious venomous snake bite, and it's a Mulga snake, which is pretty common throughout here in WA. And it was only a juvenile, about 35 centimetres long, and it swung back and bit me on the right pinky finger. Basically, straight away, I've put direct pressure on it. The bandage was applied straight away. I then immobilised myself in the passenger seat of the car, and my friend drove me 17 kilometres away to Leamington Hospital. What I could notice straight away was pain at the bite site, which is typical of a Mulga snake bite, so I knew I had been venomated.
We've got a king brown snake on the road. Look at him. A lot of people seem to think that king browns chase people, because look at him. He's got his neck flattened and he's doing a few lunges at me, but watch this. When I step back, he goes the other way. He's not coming at me still. And I'll come up to him again. I'll have to get pretty close. And then he'll do a little jump at me. His mouth's closed. He's not actually trying to bite. Stand back again. And there he goes. They're just doing it to try and make a bit of space between themselves so that they can get away. And that's why people think that brown snakes and black snakes and all these snakes in Australia chase people when they do not at all. Like, I'm standing here. Look at that. I'm like a meter from him. And he's trying to get away. What a nice looking snake though.
The Mulga snake, aka Pseudechis australis, is a highly venomous species of the family Elapidae, native to northern, western, and central Australia. Known as the king brown snake, it is the largest terrestrial venomous snake in Australia, with some individuals reaching up to 3.3 meters or 11 feet in length. Despite its common name, it belongs to the genus Pseudechis, or black snakes, and is only distantly related to true brown snakes. The name Mulga snake reflects its association with the mulga tree, aka Acacia inura, common in the arid and semi-arid regions it inhabits, although it also thrives in various other habitats, including woodlands, grasslands, and arid regions. First described by English zoologist John Edward Gray in 1842, the Mulga snake is robust and variable in appearance. Northern populations tend to have tan upper parts, while southern populations are dark brown to blackish, sometimes displaying a reddish-green texture. The snake's dorsal scales are two-toned, often giving it a patterned appearance, and its underside is cream or white, often with orange splotches. This variability in coloration helps it blend into its diverse habitats. The Mulga snake is primarily diurnal, although it can be active at night in hotter weather. It is terrestrial but can climb trees and swim if necessary. It often shelters in burrows, logs, and under rocks. This snake has a diverse diet, including small mammals, birds, other reptiles, including snakes, and amphibians. It is known to be cannibalistic, occasionally consuming other Mulga snakes. Its venom is potent, primarily affecting the muscles and blood cells, and contains myotoxins, hemotoxins, and neurotoxins. While bites to humans are rare due to the snake's generally shy nature, they can be serious and require prompt medical attention. Symptoms of envenomation include pain, swelling, nausea, vomiting, and in severe cases, paralysis and muscle damage. The antivenom used for bites from the Mulga snake is the same as that for the tiger snake, as their venoms have similarities. As an oviparous species, Mulga snakes breed in the spring and early summer. Females lay between 8 to 20 eggs per clutch, which hatch after an incubation period of about 2 months. The young are fully independent at birth and resemble miniature adults. Although considered a least concern species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, the Mulga snake faces threats from habitat destruction, climate change, and persecution by humans. The spread of the cane toad has also had a detrimental impact on their populations, as the toad is toxic to many native Australian predators. Conservation measures include habitat preservation and public education to reduce unnecessary killing of these snakes. The Mulga snake plays an important role in the Australian ecosystem, helping to control the populations of its prey species. In summary, the Mulga snake is a significant and fascinating species, notable for its size, venom potency, and adaptability to various Australian habitats. Despite its fearsome reputation, it contributes to the ecological balance and exhibits intriguing behavioral and physiological traits. 8. Hydrophis platurus, Yellow-bellied sea snake. Often confused with the olive sea snake, Apis laevis. Both species inhabit similar coastal marine environments and can exhibit similar body shapes and coloration. However, they can be distinguished by their belly color. The yellow-bellied sea snake has a bright yellow belly, while the olive sea snake typically has a more olive or brownish underside. Additionally, the yellow-bellied sea snake has a more flattened tail adapted for swimming, while the olive sea snake has a more rounded tail.
There you go, guys. In my spare time, I do some reptile relocations. We just got this poor fella from Secret Harbour, where he was found washed up on a beach. He does have a bit of an injury on the other side, in which we can't see, but it's not looking too great for him. Just waiting for a reptile rehab to come pick him up, and then he'll be going to Aqua to hopefully get mended and released back to the wild where he belongs. So hopefully all the best for him.
Look! Oh my god, my first sea snake. Oh.
The yellow-bellied sea snake, also known as Hydrophis platurus, is a fascinating and unique species of sea snake. It is characterized by its distinct coloration, featuring a yellow underbelly and a darker brown or black upper body. This contrast in coloration is quite striking and helps in identification. Adults typically reach lengths of about 70 to 80 centimeters, or 28 to 31 inches, although some individuals can grow longer. This snake has a flattened, paddle-like tail that aids in swimming. It is found in tropical and subtropical oceanic waters around the world, but it is notably absent from the Atlantic Ocean. Unlike many other sea snakes that are often found near coastal regions, the yellow-bellied sea snake is pelagic, meaning it lives primarily in the open ocean. It is often seen near the surface, where it hunts and basks in the sun. The yellow-bellied sea snake preys primarily on small fish, using its venom to immobilize prey. Like all sea snakes, it is air-breathing and must surface regularly to breathe. However, it can stay submerged for extended periods. This species is ovoviviparous, meaning females give birth to live young. This is an adaptation to its pelagic lifestyle, as laying eggs in the open ocean would be impractical. The venom of the yellow-bellied sea snake is highly potent and contains neurotoxins that can affect the nervous system, used primarily for subduing prey. Bites to humans are rare due to the snake's oceanic habitat, but they can occur. The venom can be dangerous, and medical attention is necessary if bitten. This snake has evolved to be neutrally buoyant, allowing it to float effortlessly in the water column. Like other sea snakes, it has specialized glands, located under the tongue, to excrete excess salt, which is crucial for living in a marine environment. There are no major widespread threats to this species, and it is not considered endangered. However, localized threats include pollution and bycatch in fishing nets. The IUCN Red List currently classifies the yellow-bellied sea snake as least concern. There are several myths and misconceptions tied to the yellow-bellied sea snake. One common misconception is that sea snakes, in general, are highly aggressive toward humans. In reality, these snakes are usually shy and avoid human contact. Another myth is that their venom is always fatal to humans. While their venom is potent and can be dangerous, fatalities are rare with prompt medical treatment. Additionally, some believe that sea snakes can only survive in shallow waters, but the yellow-bellied sea snake's pelagic nature disproves this notion, as it thrives in the open ocean far from shore. 7. Enhydrina chistosa, beaked sea snake. Often confused with the yellow-bellied sea snake, Hydrophis platurus. Both species are marine and have similar body shapes and coloration, which can lead to misidentification. However, they can be distinguished by the beaked sea snake's more pronounced, beak-like snout and its darker, often mottled coloration compared to the yellow-bellied sea snake, which has a more vibrant yellow belly.
So it's not every day you're fishing and a sea snake crawls onto the boat and decides to sleep in your rod holder. There he is. Hey mate, we got work to do, so we'll just keep working if that's all right. Well, see ya.
Hydrophis chistosus, commonly known as the beaked sea snake, hook-nosed sea snake, common sea snake, or Valacadian sea snake, is a highly venomous species prevalent throughout the tropical Indo-Pacific region. Adults typically range from 1.2 to 1.5 meters in length, though some individuals may grow larger. They have a robust, cylindrical body with a relatively short tail that is laterally compressed, aiding in swimming. The head is small with nostrils located on top, which helps in breathing while swimming near the surface. Coloration can vary, but they usually have a pale or cream-colored body with dark bands or spots. Hydrophis chistosus is commonly found throughout the tropical Indo-Pacific, including coastal areas of the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, South China Sea, and northern Australia. They inhabit shallow coastal waters, estuaries, and rivers, and are also known to enter freshwater and brackish environments. Their diet primarily consists of fish, particularly eels, using their venom to immobilize prey. Beaked sea snakes are ovoviviparous, meaning they give birth to live young, typically producing 2 to 9 offspring at a time. They are generally more active during the day and are often found swimming near the surface or resting on the seabed. The venom of Hydrophis chistosus is highly toxic and contains potent neurotoxins and myotoxins, causing severe muscle damage, paralysis, and respiratory failure. This species is responsible for more than 50% of all sea snake bites and the majority of envenomings and fatalities. Symptoms of envenoming may include pain, swelling, muscle weakness, difficulty breathing, and in severe cases, death. Immediate medical attention is crucial, with antivenom specific to sea snake bites being life-saving. Supportive care, such as respiratory support and symptom management, is also important. As of the last assessment, Hydrophis chistosus is listed as least concern, or LC, on the IUCN Red List due to its wide distribution. However, it is allegedly endangered due to illegal fishing trades, as well as being affected by habitat degradation, pollution, and climate change. Despite their dangerous venom, there are many myths and misconceptions tied to this snake. For example, it is believed that using rhinoceros horn and garlic can cure this snake's venomous bite, which is unsuccessful in many instances. Hydrophis schistosus has several adaptations for an aquatic lifestyle, including a laterally compressed tail for swimming, valved nostrils to prevent water intake, and the ability to extract oxygen through its skin while submerged. While bites are relatively common, especially among fishermen who handle nets, they are generally not aggressive and will avoid confrontation if possible. As a predator of fish and eels, Hydrophis schistosus plays a role in controlling fish populations and maintaining the balance of marine ecosystems, though they can fall prey to larger marine predators such as sharks and large fish. Understanding the behavior, venom, and ecological role of Hydrophis schistosus is crucial for mitigating risks associated with human interactions and for conservation efforts. 6. Pseudonaja nuchalis, western brown snake, is often confused with the dugite, Pseudonaja affinis. Both snakes share similar coloration and body shapes, which can lead to misidentification. However, the western brown snake typically has a more slender body and can display a greater variety of colors, including shades of brown and yellow. In contrast, the dugite generally has a more consistent coloration, often featuring a lighter, more uniform body.
26-year-old Carl Berry spotted the snake near some children at his hockey club. The snake, which Berry mistook for a python, bit him as he threw it into nearby bushes. Thinking nothing of it, Berry then went for a run. After running 2 kilometers, he collapsed and died about 15 minutes later. Snake venom flows rapidly from the point of entry with increased heart and blood circulation. Brown snake venom causes disorientation and dizziness and arrests the functions of vital organs, leading to death.
The western brown snake, scientifically recognized under the names Pseudonaja aspidorinca, Pseudonaja mengdini, and Pseudonaja nuchalis, is a highly venomous species native to Australia, commonly known as the gwarder or collared brown snake, and more recently as the strap-snout brown snake, P. aspidorinca, and northern brown snake, P. nuchalis. It exhibits significant variation in color and pattern, ranging from light brown, orange, and reddish-brown to dark brown and almost black. This variation makes identification challenging, especially since it overlaps in distribution with other brown snakes, Pseudonaja spp, and the unrelated Mulga snake, Pseudechis australis. Within the western brown snakes, Pseudonaja aspidorinca is differentiated by its lighter-colored mouth compared to the blackish mouths of P. mengdini and P. nuchalis. Additionally, P. nuchalis has a long, strap-like rostral scale, giving it a squared-off snout, while P. mengdini has a more rounded snout and a less elongated rostral scale. Mulga snakes, although similar in color, have a broader head, heavier build, and lack any banded pattern. Western brown snakes inhabit a range of environments across most of Australia, except for the southeastern and southwestern coastal regions, favoring arid and semi-arid regions, but also found in grasslands, woodlands, and forests. They typically shelter in burrows, under rocks, or other covers during the hottest parts of the day and are primarily diurnal, although they can become crepuscular in hotter weather. Their diet includes small mammals, birds, reptiles, and occasionally amphibians, which they subdue with their potent venom. This venom, among the most toxic in Australia, contains neurotoxins, procoagulants, and myotoxins, making it extremely dangerous to humans and other animals. Symptoms of a bite include headache, nausea, abdominal pain, dizziness, and paralysis, necessitating immediate medical treatment and antivenom administration. Breeding occurs in spring, with females laying clutches of 10 to 35 eggs in early summer, which incubate for about 2 to 3 months. Despite their venomous nature, western brown snakes play an important role in controlling small mammal populations and maintaining ecological balance. They are not currently considered endangered, although habitat destruction, road mortality, and intentional killing pose threats. Myths and misconceptions about western brown snakes often exaggerate their aggressiveness and lethality. While their venom is indeed potent, these snakes are not typically aggressive and will often flee rather than confront humans. Encounters can be dangerous, but understanding their behavior and role in the ecosystem helps mitigate unnecessary fear and promote coexistence. If encountered in the wild, it is best to observe from a distance and avoid provoking them. 5. Notechis ater, black tiger snake. often confused with the mainland tiger snake, Notechis scutatus. Both species belong to the same genus and can exhibit similar banding patterns and coloration, which can make identification challenging. However, the black tiger snake generally has a darker, more uniform coloration and is primarily found in specific regions such as southern Australia and Tasmania, while the mainland tiger snake can have more pronounced banding and is more widely distributed across southeastern Australia.
G'day guys, Mad Paulie here with a special guest, Miss Rachel. She's coming out to watch us release a tiger snake. This tiger snake I got from Success. Smashed my lip up doing it, trying to dive through a ladder. I wouldn't do it. Ooh, and if you ever see Rachel down at the Bull Creek Tavern on a Thursday night, you yell out, "Hey, blue shirt, get us a pint of Great Northern!"
Please don't.
And she will.
I won't.
She will.
I won't.
I will. Anyway, first tiger snake?
First tiger snake.
It's a release or scene?
Scene.
Wow.
And release. It's first release.
Virgin. Let's do it.
The black tiger snake, scientifically known as Notechis ater, is a striking reptile recognized for its very dark brown head and body, often adorned with lighter crossbands that give it a distinctive appearance. The coloration of its belly ranges from light to dark gray, which provides a stark contrast to its darker upper body. This species typically reaches a length of about 1.5 meters, making it a relatively large snake. In terms of habitat, the black tiger snake is quite adaptable, residing in various environments such as dry rocky areas, marshlands, and coastal dune grasslands. Unlike the common tiger snake, the black tiger snake favors drier habitats but remains dependent on areas that experience coastal rainfall to some extent. This preference for specific habitats ensures that the snake has access to the necessary resources for survival and reproduction. The diet of the black tiger snake is quite diverse. On the Bass Strait Islands, these snakes are known to prey on muttonbird chicks, which are a significant part of their diet during certain seasons. Additionally, they feed on frogs, small mammals, fish, and other reptiles, including their own species, showcasing their opportunistic feeding behavior. This varied diet not only sustains them, but also helps regulate the populations of their prey, contributing to the ecological balance of their habitats. Reproduction in the black tiger snake involves females giving birth to live young, typically producing between 20 to 30 offspring in a single birthing event. This reproductive strategy, known as viviparity, is relatively common among snakes living in cooler climates, as it allows the mother to better regulate the development of her young by retaining them within her body until they are ready to be born. The geographical range of the black tiger snake includes Western Australia, South Australia, the Bass Strait Islands, and Tasmania. This distribution is largely influenced by the availability of suitable habitats and the species' ability to adapt to different environmental conditions. Despite its ecological importance, the black tiger snake is often surrounded by myths and misconceptions. One prevalent myth is that these snakes are overly aggressive and will attack humans without provocation. In reality, the black tiger snake, like most snakes, prefers to avoid human contact and will generally only strike if it feels cornered or threatened. This defensive behavior is often misinterpreted as aggression. Another common misconception is related to the venom of tiger snakes. While it is true that the venom of tiger snakes, including the black tiger snake, is potent and can be dangerous, the severity of envenomation can vary. The impact of a bite depends on several factors, including the amount of venom injected and the promptness of medical treatment. Advances in anti-venom and medical care have significantly improved the outcomes for bite victims. It's also worth noting that the role of the black tiger snake in its ecosystem is vital. As both predator and prey, it helps maintain the balance of species populations within its habitat. By controlling the numbers of its prey, such as small mammals and frogs, it prevents these populations from becoming too large and causing ecological damage. Understanding and respecting the black tiger snake is crucial for its conservation. Education and awareness can help dispel the myths and fears associated with these snakes, promoting a more informed and tolerant attitude towards them. Conservation efforts aimed at preserving their natural habitats and reducing human-wildlife conflict are essential for ensuring the survival of this fascinating and ecologically significant species. In conclusion, the black tiger snake, Notechis ater, is a remarkable species with distinct physical characteristics, diverse habitat preferences, and an important role in the ecosystem. By debunking myths and misconceptions and fostering a better understanding of these snakes, we can contribute to their conservation and coexistence with humans. 4. Notechis scutatus, Mainland Tiger Snake, is often confused with the eastern brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis. Both species can exhibit similar coloration and patterns, particularly in younger individuals, and they share overlapping habitats in southeastern Australia. However, the mainland tiger snake typically has distinctive banding patterns, a more robust body, and a broader head, while the eastern brown snake generally has a more uniform coloration, a slender body, and a narrower head. Additionally, their behavior and reactions to threats can differ, with the tiger snake being more likely to flatten its neck and body when threatened.
Hey, don't be nasty. Look how yellow you are. You're nice and bright. Hey? I'm gonna let you go into your new home? You've had a bit of an ordeal, having to go back and forth, eh? I know. I'm just getting the hook. Because you've been a bit twitchy. There you go. Go on. In your new home. There he goes. There's a kink in the tail there. It's a nice tiger snake. Let's see if I can... There we go. Had a crack. No venom. Just a headbutt. You can have another one. That's very visual. Poke. What's that? Another headbutt. So as you can see, snakes don't always bite. It can sometimes take quite a bit to get them to have a go. There we go, that was a bite. Anyway, let's let him go. Hey, buddy, it's all right. Beautiful tiger snake. You can go to your new home. Off him over us. Ooh, let him go.
I got in between him and the snake. Brady went tearing up the hallway. Then the snake started going in there. That's when I jumped over it. And as I've landed, it's reared up. Bit me there, yeah.
Matt found out later Braden, who lives with autism, was also bitten, twice on his foot. The tiger snake then slithered behind a TV cabinet, trapping Matt in his bedroom.
And like I couldn't get out because paramedics wanted to treat me, but they couldn't get in because it was like right there. I was scared if they opened the door, they would have bit one of them.
Snake hunter Mark Pelly was called to the rescue, literally.
So Braden and his father were very fortunate to still be with us today.
The mainland tiger snake, also known as Notechis scutatus, is a highly venomous species native to southern and eastern Australia. Its appearance is marked by distinct banding, typically in alternating bands of yellow and black or brown, though coloration can vary with some individuals appearing more uniformly black. Adults generally range from 1 to 1.2 meters in length, with some growing up to 2 meters. This species inhabits a variety of environments, including coastal regions, wetlands, grasslands, and forests across Victoria, New South Wales, South Australia, and Tasmania. They prefer areas with ample water sources such as rivers, lakes, and marshes. Mainland tiger snakes are generally active during the day but can also be nocturnal in hotter weather. They exhibit shy behavior, opting to avoid human encounters but can become highly defensive if threatened, flattening their bodies and raising their heads in a striking position. Their diet consists mainly of frogs, small mammals, birds, and other reptiles. Mainland tiger snakes are ovoviviparous, giving birth to live young, with a single litter containing up to 30 young snakes. The breeding season typically occurs in spring. The venom of the mainland tiger snake is highly toxic, containing neurotoxins, coagulants, hemolysins, and myotoxins, which can cause systemic symptoms such as pain, swelling, paralysis, and potentially death if not treated promptly. Antivenom is the primary treatment for bites, and immediate medical attention is crucial. While not currently listed as endangered, the mainland tiger snake faces threats from habitat destruction and environmental changes. It is an important part of the ecosystem, helping to control prey populations and contributing to biodiversity. The head of the mainland tiger snake is moderately wide and deep, only slightly distinct from the robust, muscular body. When performing a threat display, they can flatten their neck and upper body considerably, exposing the black skin between their relatively large, semi-glossy scales. They possess mid-body scales in 17 to 21 rows, ventral scales numbering 140 to 190, and single anal and subcaudal scales. A characteristic feature of Notechis is the large squarish frontal shield, which is not or scarcely longer than broad. Large banded individuals of Notechis scutatus are fairly distinct and unlikely to be confused with other species, except perhaps the banded form of the eastern brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis. Juveniles might be mistaken for the rough-scaled snake, Tropodechis carinata, or Stevens banded snake, Hoplocephalus stephensii. Patternless tiger snakes may resemble other venomous snakes, such as copperheads, australis spp, or black snakes, Pseudechis spp. On Kangaroo Island, some specimens have a reddish belly, leading to misidentification as red-bellied black snakes, Pseudechis porphyriacus. 3. Oxyuranus scutellatus, coastal taipan, is often confused with the eastern brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis. Both species can exhibit similar coloration and body shapes, leading to potential misidentification. However, the coastal taipan generally has a more robust body, a distinct head shape with a pronounced neck and larger eyes. In contrast, the eastern brown snake is usually more slender and has a more uniform head and neck shape. Additionally, the coastal taipan is typically found in coastal regions of northern and eastern Australia, while the eastern brown snake has a wider distribution across various habitats in Australia.
In their hunting ground on the coastal grasslands, 14-year-old Tua Baraya and his brother Junior scour the canopy for prey. But it's beneath their feet where they should be looking. They've hardly worn shoes in their lives. And sharing this ground is the Papuan taipan, a deadly creature of stealth.
The coastal taipan, scientifically known as Oxyuranus scutellatus and also referred to as the eastern taipan, is named by the Wicmunkin people of Cape York and was introduced to general use by anthropologist Dr. Donald Thompson. This species can be distinguished from other large brown-colored elapids such as the eastern brown snake, Pseudonaja textilis, western brown snake, Pseudonaja nuchalis, and the Mulga snake, Pseudechis australis, by its pale face and snout, large head, and slender neck, whereas the other snakes usually have a face/snout that is the same color as or darker than their body with a smaller head that is as thick as the neck or only slightly distinct. The coastal taipan's dorsal scales are generally smooth but may be slightly keeled on the neck, and its ventral surface is yellowish to cream with scattered orange blotches. It has large eyes with an intense orange-brown iris and round pupils. The snake has 21 or 23 rows of mid-body scales, 220 to 250 ventrals, a single anal scale, and divided subcaudals. Typically, it measures around 2 meters in total length, with males growing slightly larger than females. Though the coastal taipan can grow over 3 meters, the largest wild-caught specimen measured 2,260 millimeters in snout vent length, and a captive-bred specimen donated to the Queensland Museum had a snout vent length of 2,425 millimeters and a total length of 2,900 millimeters. In terms of habitat, the coastal taipan is found in warm, wetter temperate to tropical coastal regions, including monsoon forests, wet and dry sclerophyll forests, woodlands, natural and artificial grassy areas such as grazing paddocks, disused rubbish tips, and cane fields, where there is often an abundance of rats. They also favor thickets of introduced lantana and shelter in abandoned animal burrows, hollow logs, and piles of vegetation and litter. The Australian subspecies Oxyuranus scutellatus ranges along the east coast from northeastern New South Wales through Queensland and across the northern parts of the Northern Territory to northern Western Australia. The other subspecies, Oxyuranus scutellatus cani, occurs in southern New Guinea. Coastal taipans are active throughout the year, with peak encounters in late winter and spring. They feed exclusively on warm-blooded prey such as mammals, mice, rats, bandicoots, and birds. Young taipans in captivity also eat skinks. When hunting, the taipan uses its well-developed eyesight to actively scan for prey, traveling with its head raised. Upon detecting prey, the snake freezes before launching forward to deliver rapid bites. The prey is released to stagger away, minimizing the snake's risk of retaliation. The taipan then tracks the dying prey using its scent trail. The coastal taipan is primarily diurnal, being mostly active in the early to mid-morning, although it may become nocturnal in hot weather. In captivity, the species changes color with the seasons, becoming bright coppery in summer and dull brown in winter, likely to help it warm up quickly during cooler months and avoid overheating in warmer months. Juveniles do not undergo this seasonal change. Studies have found oviducal eggs in females from late August to mid-November, and gravid females are seen basking in cane fields from August to September. Mating in captivity peaks in late winter/early spring, though breeding can be encouraged nearly year-round. Male combat, involving entwining and wrestling to push down the opponent's head and neck, has been observed in the wild. The courtship involves the male becoming excited, moving along the female's body, tongue flicking, and rubbing his chin against her. Copulation in captivity can last over 3 hours. Taipans are oviparous, laying 3 to 21 soft-shelled eggs, average of 11, in log hollows, under tree roots, or ground cavities. Captive females may produce a second clutch weeks after the initial mating, indicating possible sperm storage for months. Eggs hatch between 2 and 3 months, depending on incubation temperature, with hatchlings measuring around 46 centimeters and ready to hunt. Captive taipans grow rapidly, reaching over a meter in their first year. Growth rates in the wild are unknown, but the lack of small specimens in museum collections suggests rapid natural growth. Newly hatched and immature coastal taipans have natural enemies such as birds of prey and goannas. Few predators take on large adults, but humans often kill them on sight. The species' only recorded parasites are nematodes. The coastal taipan is regarded as the most dangerous snake in Australia due to its extreme nervousness and alertness. It prefers to avoid conflict but will defend itself ferociously if surprised or cornered, adopting a striking stance with its head and forebody raised, inflating and compressing its body laterally, and spreading its jaws to appear broader. It strikes often without warning, delivering multiple accurate bites, and can hurl itself forward or sideways rapidly. The coastal taipan has the longest fangs of any Australian Yellowbellied snake, up to 12 millimeters long, capable of injecting large amounts of highly toxic venom deep into the flesh, affecting the nervous system and blood clotting. Symptoms include headache, nausea, vomiting, collapse, convulsions, paralysis, internal bleeding, myolysis, and kidney damage. Immediate medical attention is crucial for anyone bitten. Before the introduction of specific antivenom by the Commonwealth Serum Laboratories in 1956, a taipan bite was nearly always fatal. 2. Pseudonaja textilis, eastern brown snake, which is often confused with the king brown snake, Pseudechis australis, also known as the Mulga snake. Both species can have similar brown coloration and body shapes, which can lead to misidentification. However, the eastern brown snake is generally more slender and has a more uniform color, while the king brown snake tends to be more robust and can have a more varied color pattern, often with a coppery or reddish hue. Additionally, the eastern brown snake is highly venomous, while the king brown snake, though still dangerous, has a less potent venom compared to the eastern brown snake.
A Queensland family is tonight mourning the death of a 69-year-old father fatally bitten by a venomous snake in a small town south of Mackay. He's being remembered as a selfless friend, attacked as he was stepping in to save a mate who had been bitten first.
Just this past weekend, on what was supposed to be a celebratory event in Northern Australia at the Kumala State School, Donnie Morrison, a 69-year-old grandfather, lost his life as he attempted to save his friend from a snake bite.
A man has died after being bitten by a snake while celebrating a North Queensland school's 100-year anniversary.
Janice Taylor looks like this because of a snake bite, but she wasn't bitten on her face, she was bitten on her foot.
horrifically scared. I didn't know what had happened. I didn't put it to the sting on the toe.
It happened a week ago outside the Safety Bay Bowling Club on a footpath.
It felt like a sharp prick. I actually thought maybe a spider had got me or a bee.
She drove herself home. Only when she got out of the car did she realise something was terribly wrong.
My head was spinning, my brain was spinning. I couldn't move my legs.
She collapsed
head first onto the bitumen
and was taken to Rockingham Hospital. Doctors thought it was a heart problem until several hours later when her face started bleeding. The venom was thinning her blood.
Then they started to panic. We were going to die.
7 hours passed before doctors realised she'd been bitten.
At 5 o'clock in the morning they said to me, do you want us to call the kids? Because we don't know whether you'll be talking to them in 20 minutes.
The eastern brown snake, aka Pseudonaja textilis, is one of the most venomous snakes in the world, native to Australia, Papua New Guinea, and Indonesia. Typically, it measures 1.5 to 2 meters in length, but some individuals can grow up to 2.4 meters. Its color varies from pale brown to almost black, and juveniles have black heads with lighter bodies, which change as they mature. The snake has a slender body with a small head and a smooth, glossy appearance. It is widespread across eastern Australia, from northern Queensland through New South Wales, Victoria, and into South Australia. It is found in a variety of habitats, including forests, woodlands, grasslands, and urban areas, preferring open, dry environments but adapting well to different settings. The eastern brown snake is diurnal, being active during the day and primarily feeds on small mammals, particularly rodents, but also eats birds, frogs, and reptiles. Juveniles often consume lizards. When threatened, it can become very aggressive, raising its body off the ground, hissing, and striking repeatedly. Despite this aggressive display, it prefers to flee if given the chance. During the breeding season in late spring to early summer, females lay clutches of 10 to 35 eggs in sheltered locations such as burrows or under rocks. The eggs hatch after approximately 2 to 3 months, with young being independent from birth. The eastern brown snake's venom is extremely toxic, containing potent neurotoxins, coagulants, and nephrotoxins. Bites can cause paralysis, uncontrollable bleeding, and renal failure, and can be fatal if not treated promptly with antivenom. This species is responsible for more snakebite fatalities in Australia than any other due to its potent venom and proximity to human habitations. Although not currently listed as threatened by the IUCN, the eastern brown snake is considered to have a stable population. It is also one of the fastest snakes, capable of moving at surprising speeds to escape danger or pursue prey. There is a specific antivenom for bites from the eastern brown snake, which has significantly reduced the fatality rate from envenomations. Understanding and respecting the eastern brown snake's role in its ecosystem is crucial, as it helps control rodent populations, which can otherwise become pests. If encountered, it is important to remain calm, avoid sudden movements, and slowly back away to avoid provoking an attack. In a theoretical battle for the title of Australia's most dangerous snake between the eastern brown snake and the inland taipan, Oxyuranus microlepidotus, several factors would be considered. The inland taipan, also known as the fierce snake, has the most toxic venom of any snake in the world. Its venom is capable of killing an adult human in less than an hour if untreated. However, the inland taipan is reclusive and rarely encountered by humans, resulting in very few bites. In contrast, the eastern brown snake has a slightly less potent venom but is far more aggressive and commonly found in populated areas, leading to a higher number of bites and fatalities. Therefore, while the inland taipan's venom is theoretically more dangerous, the eastern brown snake's behavior and frequent human interactions make it arguably more dangerous in practice. 1. Oxyuranus microlepidotus, the inland taipan, is often confused with the western brown snake, Pseudonaja nuchalis. Both species inhabit arid regions of Australia and can exhibit similar brown to olive coloration, making them difficult to distinguish at a glance. However, the inland taipan tends to have a more robust body and can exhibit seasonal color changes, ranging from dark brown or olive in winter to lighter shades in summer. In contrast, the western brown snake usually has a more consistent coloration and a slender body. The inland taipan is also noted for its extremely potent venom, making it one of the most venomous snakes in the world.
Wildlife officers are investigating what an ultra-deadly Taipan snake was doing near Newcastle and how it managed to bite and almost kill a teenage boy. They want to know if it was being kept illegally, a long, long way from its natural habitat. Ashley Brown is on the Central Coast.
The typically shy but deadly snake is now in the hands of Judy Martin.
A beautiful girl.
The reptile rescuer was asked to identify what is considered to be the world's deadliest snake last night after it bit a 17-year-old boy on the hand.
We were quite shocked. We'd never seen a taipan before. They're not from this area. And to have somebody bitten by an inland taipan is quite serious.
He took himself to Kurri Kurri Hospital along with what is believed to be his pet snake.
He needs to take out a lottery ticket. He is extremely lucky to still be alive.
He's now been transferred to Newcastle's Mater Hospital, Australia's leading centre for snake bites.
The inland taipan, Oxyuranus microlepidotus, also known as the fierce snake or small-scaled snake, is an extremely venomous snake native to Australia. This snake is widely considered the most venomous snake in the world, based on the median lethal dose, LD50 value in mice. Its venom is highly potent, containing neurotoxins, procoagulants, and myotoxins, and a single bite can contain enough venom to kill 100 adult humans or 250,000 mice. The inland taipan is native to semi-arid regions of central East Australia, particularly in the border regions of Queensland and South Australia. Its preferred habitats are black soil plains and floodplains, where it can find its primary prey. The inland taipan primarily preys on small mammals, especially rodents like rats and mice, using its extremely potent venom to immobilize its prey almost instantly. Despite its potency, the inland taipan is not aggressive and tends to avoid human contact. It is reclusive and will usually flee if given the chance, though it can become defensive and may strike multiple times when threatened. Physically, the inland taipan is medium to large in size, typically measuring about 1.8 to 2.5 meters or 5.9 to 8.2 feet in length. Its color can vary seasonally, ranging from dark tan in winter to light brown in summer, aiding in thermoregulation. The species is oviparous, meaning it lays eggs. A female inland taipan can lay between 10 to 20 eggs per clutch, usually depositing them in crevices or abandoned animal burrows, providing a stable environment for incubation. The inland taipan is not currently listed as endangered, although its specific habitat requirements make it vulnerable to habitat destruction and changes in its environment. Antivenom is available for inland taipan bites, and while bites are rare due to the snake's reclusive nature, they can be treated effectively if medical care is promptly administered. The venom of the inland taipan is of great interest to medical research due to its potential applications in developing new treatments for blood clotting disorders and other medical conditions. The name fierce snake is actually a reference to the potency of its venom rather than its temperament. Despite its name, the inland taipan is known for being shy and reclusive, avoiding confrontation whenever possible. Overall, the inland taipan is a remarkable example of evolutionary specialization, possessing a venom optimized for quickly subduing its prey and surviving in its harsh, arid environment.